here. Retrieve the bottles from under the piano at the Borch Bowl Club. And here's one of the bottles in the question. What are you gonna dust that for fingerprints too? I wouldn't be surprised if any were on that but his. Mr. Gavin probably wouldn't make such a novice mistake. True, that bottle wouldn't bear a trace of anything. Say, Apollo. Yes? Why don't you go ahead and examine that bottle? But why? Just humor me. Mr. Wright, that bottle will solve this case once and for all. What? That's some bottle of cocaine. What you want to do is you want to examine, you see this right here? The card he, balled up. There's something inside the bottle. That was off timing, but I don't care, because I'm like that. What's this? That card! It can't be! Recall the unpleasant woman's testimony for a moment? Miss Olga Orley? Yes, our little swindling Devacha, whatever you call that. That night, I planted the card like I was supposed to, and Wright lost the hand, just like he was supposed to. Then Smith searched him, but the planted card was gone. The trap failed. Wait, this isn't... You're telling me that this is the planted card you disposed of? The one you mentioned in this piece of testimony? I happened to put my hands in my pocket and found a card. Yes, I snuck a peek at it and found it was a 5 of hearts. I had a feeling something might happen, so I disposed of the card before the game. Disposed? Where? There was an empty bottle of grape juice I had been drinking right beside me. I filled up the card inside the bottle. The 5 of hearts. This is the card. The bottles were swapped, and the only one who could have done that was the 4th person in the club that night. You, Mr. Christoph Gavin. I forgot the Porsche was still there. I think he just revealed he was the one who did it. Yes, folks, Christoph Gavin. That is all. That actually was perfect timing. Christoph Gavin, that is all. Is this your idea of revenge, Pheonix Wright? Revenge? Revenge for the events that took away your attorney's badge 7 years ago? My past is like my logic, straight and true. Nothing's changed. All I did was point the finger at justice in the proper direction. Fine. I'm glad we could have this little tete-a-tete, right? This is insane! What about me? Don't I get to prosecute anyone? I'll sit over there, your rat-faced prosecutor. I never liked him. I never liked Payne. I believe it's time we finally come to the end of the trial. Mr. Payne, do you have a report for us on Christoph Gavin? He's admitted everything, and we're processing his arrest now. I see. Still, one has to wonder why he would do such a thing. He didn't even have a connection to the victim, did he? None of that we know of. Mr. Wright, have you anything to add? I'm afraid I can't shed any more light on that matter. About this victim, Mr. Shady Smith. His occupation was listed as traveler and an odd profession to be sure. That's all we know of him. I'm afraid I'll arrange a follow-up investigation, Your Honor. Good, Mr. Wright. Yes? 7 years ago, and you still haven't lost your touch. Christoph Gavin was a man with much significance for me, both as a friend and a lawyer. He was extremely talented, to be sure. I needed 2 things before I could confront him. The first was a place where no injustice would be tolerated, in this courtroom. The second was a man who tolerated no injustice. In other words, a defense attorney. You, Apollo. Me? A dark time is coming for our legal system. A twisting injustice brought on by our own very court system. Our very own court system. We have to set it right. Mr. Wright? Our work lies ahead of us, and I, for one, am looking forward to it. Well, this seems like a good time to announce a verdict. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Pheonix Wright, not guilty. I'm gonna have to put an echo effect on that one. That'd be cool. Court is adjourned. Thanks, Apollo. You came through just like I thought you would. I'm pretty sure I didn't do a thing in there. It was you who cornered Mr. Gaff, the killer. I couldn't have done it by myself. You sensed it too today, didn't you? Your ability? Ability? Yes, your sensitivity I lack. You come to understand it soon enough. Wait, I wonder if he means... I have one question for the witness then. You say you saw the moment the defendant hit the victim. Is this true? Of course it's true. What's this weird vibe I'm getting? Also, I wasn't recovering from the alcohol I had last night. I mean, you didn't hear that. What was that, Mr. Wright? You'll have to find the answer to the question yourself. The answer? Right. Today was full of questions without answers. Most of them about Mr. Gavin. What possible reason could he have to commit the murder? Perhaps you'll learn that in days to come. Huh? Wait, you don't know, do you? This locket is the key. Huh? Oh, that reminds me. I met the girl whose picture is in that locket. Your daughter, right? That's right, she's my daughter. You know, you were right about this locket. Hey? I took this off his neck the night he died, but it looks like our dear Russian scam artist saw me. So the truth is, this locket really did belong to him. Wait, but that's perjury! You testified. You said the locket was yours. I said no such thing, actually. Huh? I merely said that it was a locket with my daughter's picture in it. Yes, he did. It's subtle distinction, but a distinction nonetheless. And it's the truth. Wait, but then, why? Why was the victim wearing a locket with a picture of your daughter inside it? Sometimes the straightest path to truth isn't the best one. Give it time. You're still just getting started with your career. Speaking of which, I may be out of a job. I work for Gavin Law Office after all. I still can't believe I just saw Mr. Gavin get led away in handcuffs. Apollo? Yes? How about coming to work for me? Eh? You mean at the Wright & Company law offices? I mean, there's not a single attorney in my jurisdiction that doesn't know of it. I can't imagine that to be true, but... Wait, but didn't you... You're not a... Oh, I turned in my badge, yes. I'm not an attorney anymore. The incident 7 years ago, that legendary trial, and at the middle of it all was one man, Pheonix Wright. The case reached a sad conclusion and he left law for good. Have you ever thought about coming back to the courts? I'm not qualified to stand in court of law, I'm afraid. Didn't you notice in today's trial, there was a single piece of forged evidence? Forged evidence? What are you talking about? I'm talking about the evidence that shouldn't have existed. A naughty magician's trick. One piece of evidence struck me as odd. It's true. It just seemed, well, too perfect. I'll bet this was the forged evidence. Yes, people, the bloody ace was forged. You mean this, don't you? I got this from your daughter, Mr. Wright. Yes, that card couldn't have been found at the crime scene. Why? Because the killer took it with him when he left, leaving the wrong card in its place, luckily for us. The court can't accept this evidence. It's a fraud. A fraud? How can you be so sure? I would think the only person who could claim it was a fraud would be the one who took the real card from the crime scene, the real killer. My verdict was already handed down 7 years ago. Then, you really? Yes, I forged this card. One look at the crime scene should have told you it wasn't real. But you can't do something like that. And you call yourself an attorney. Who's calling themselves an attorney? Apollo. So it's true. The rumor is true. 7 years ago. None of that matters now. Much now, does it? Yeah! If you didn't know what he just did, he punched him in the face. I punched him. It's your story from here on out, Apollo. Perhaps I can help you turn the next page. My office address. Drop in if you like. Mr. Wright. Oh, about your uppercut? Try yelling, "Take that," next time. I find it packs a little more punch. And Apollo, thanks for today. I had a good time. And there he goes. And with that, Mr. Wright walked out of the door. That's how my first trial ended. A lot of mysteries went unsolved. And at the time, I had no idea they were all related. Every mystery that day, connected by a single thread of logic. I'll find that out soon enough. My name is Apollo Justice, attorney at law, and this is how my story begins. Everybody, this is the end of Case 1. I hope you enjoyed the ride. We'll begin Case 2 next time on Apollo Justice, Ace Attorney. See you guys then.